Right, so for today's video, we actually have an update regarding a situation I spoke about a few weeks ago. And it all came from this account right here called Brett Fairley, a TikToker with 120,000 followers. And in case you either don't know what I'm talking about or you need a bit of a refresher, I'll give you a very fast recap. But again, I did upload like a full in-depth video if you want to know the full situation. Now, a lot of the original videos have been deleted and we'll get to all of that later, but you might remember this person right here. This is Brett, who made a video that went ridiculously viral where he spoke about a situation where he had met this woman, had a one-night stand, and then after talking to Maria, the person who he claims he had a one-night stand with, she said that she was like desperate to have a child. He wanted to help out. They end up having a child together. He says in the video that he was like kind of like a sperm donor in this situation. And then it ends up resulting in him actually being in the child's life, which he says wasn't the original plan, but after discussions, after she had met his family and whatnot, he decided he'd be in the child's life. Now, there is a lot of other points that he brings up in this video. Like I said, if you want the full recap, then you can check out the previous video. But long story short, it ends with him saying that he has recently just found out that he's not actually the dad. Which, of course, even just that would be ridiculously heartbreaking news. He also mentions other points like he paid $10,000 up front and like some other payments for like child support and whatnot. And ultimately, he ends it by saying it's now going to court to see what the conclusion of this situation will be. Now, it's definitely important to note that Maria has made a video saying that this isn't true, and we're not going to know exactly what is 100% true here until it's decided in court, until they do the DNA test there, and I'm assuming we will hear answers. Now, during this situation, it was revealed that Brett and Nurse Hadley, another TikToker with 2 million followers, also a nurse, as you can tell by the name, are actually in a relationship. Now, Maria's cousin actually had a lot to say about this. It started with this post saying an at-home paternity test without a third party is completely unacceptable. Did you know his girlfriend is a nurse who lost custody of all her kids? It's given they tampered with the test. Yeah, they conveniently left that part out. So straight away, some very serious accusations, right? Obviously bringing up Hadley's kids, but also mentioning that she tampered with the test results, or at least she's insinuating that she tampered with the test results with being a nurse. That is a very serious accusation, of course. Now, Michelle, Maria's cousin, did end up making a few more posts where she kind of like almost backtracked on it a little bit and said, let me clarify, Hadley didn't lose custody of her kids. She gave her son to her ex-husband because he has a learning disability. I don't know about you all, but I could never give my child away. It's tough for me to sympathize with her because she's a hypocrite. She doesn't want false information to spread, yet she condones Brett's behavior. And then again, after this, Michelle then makes another post kind of correcting things again and says, I want to clarify based on reliable sources that Brett's girlfriend did not lose custody of her kids. Her ex-husband has one of the children, but I'm not privy to the reasons why, and I'm certainly not here to drag any kids into this. Now, the main reason why I'm recapping this part is because this comes up later. Nurse Hadley has made a video kind of addressing a lot of things, this being one of them. Now, since my last video, Michelle has also been posting on TikTok about this situation, like this video, for example, where she plays a part of Brett's video where he says it was a one-night stand and then goes on to show pictures that would insinuate that it wasn't a one-night stand.
When I was 23, I had a one-night stand with a girl from my hometown named Maria. We both knew it was nothing more than that.
So you get the point. She's posted a lot of pictures with Brett and Maria in them, including this picture here that says Maria loves Brett on like this piece of wood. We showed a few of these in the last video. And then in the same video, Michelle shows these comments that she had left on one of Brett's posts back in April, basically trying to show that she's always had this opinion that Brett didn't see his child, or who he thought was his child at the time. Again, we don't obviously know like the outcome with all of this yet, but she does show these comments from April that says, must be nice not having to watch your daughter. Michelle then goes to show this comment that Hadley left in a TikTok video that says, haha, this showed up on my FYP. As the girlfriend and nurse, yes, this is what happened. I said, please get a DNA test. These dates aren't adding up. We were still shocked at the results though. And Michelle has added some captions saying, how would you know that the dates aren't adding up? You've only known Brett for 6 months, and since you've been in the picture, you have caused so much drama. Brett, tell the viewers why your parents don't like Hadley. And then Michelle ended this video by showing this post that she had made on Instagram, where she is basically saying that Hadley is like the mastermind behind all of this, and she has like coached Brett through this to act like how he has with this whole situation. Now, up until a few days ago, when Nurse Hadley has uploaded this video responding to a lot of claims that we will talk about later, we didn't actually hear much, but one TikToker called Brittany Held has actually made a few videos talking about this situation where she's kind of pieced together or tried to piece together the puzzle by reading some comments that have been left on some videos. Brittany goes on to show quite a few comments here. There's this one where Hadley is responding to someone saying, I hope you're not the one that did the DNA test, to which Hadley says, I'm not, just encourage him to get one after hearing the story. There's also this one where Hadley's responding to someone saying, girl, they're saying you got your kids taken away. If it's not true, I hope people start suing folks for defamation, to which Hadley responded saying, I didn't have my kids taken away. DNA. I feel like that's pretty obvious. I am suing her. So, judging from this, it seems like Hadley is now suing, I assume, Michelle. Now, in a separate video, Brittany shows that on Brett's bio on his TikTok page, it actually said update on 10/17/24. And that update never came, and people were wondering, like, why that happened. And then we kind of got some answers in the comment sections. So again, we have a comment here that says, where's the update? Hadley responds saying, he's under a gag order. Can't speak until his lawyer gets it lifted, hopefully on 10/29. I'm assuming that it didn't get lifted. Or maybe it did, considering Hadley has now uploaded a video, but I don't know if she would be under the same gag order. We just haven't heard anything from Brett since. There's also another comment here saying I came back for more updates and all the videos are gone, to which Hadley responds saying we will keep posting our normal content and he will post once he gets the court-ordered DNA test results back. So this is going to be something that we do find out by the looks of it. Now, on the other hand, if you go to the comment section on Michelle's videos, there's obviously different parts of the story here. And again, Brittany showed this in a video. Big credit goes to her because she's obviously been keeping up to date with all of this. But Brittany shows that Michelle liked a comment on one of her videos that says, today is 10/29, any updates? No doubt he's the dad, and I think he and the nurse broke up. So the fact that she's liked this comment does make me believe that she believes that Brett is the dad. And again, we obviously don't know. It's going to be proven eventually, right? I remember in the comment section of my last video, it seemed like the majority of people did believe Brett in terms of like the DNA test, and it hadn't been tampered with since it'd been taken to court, and it is going to be proven. But again, none of us know, obviously, right? We don't know these people in real life, or I'm assuming the vast majority of people watching this wouldn't know the people in real life. So we don't know, and there's obviously going to be answers eventually. I think overall, it's just been a massive shame the way that this is all been dealt with, right? It started with this one video, then it's turned into like everybody getting involved. Now there's accusations going to other people, like accusations regarding their jobs saying they tampered with a DNA test, and then there's accusations about another person's kids, and there's just so much going on that I feel like a lot of people handled stuff very wrong. Now, going back to Michelle's comment section, there was also this comment that says, why is everyone focusing on the one night stand part? That part is just for context. The unjust part is when it turned out that she had been lying to him for 3 years, lying about a baby is fucked up, to which Michelle replied saying, she didn't lie. If she thought it could have been someone else's, she would have done a paternity test. When my cousin is able to speak, everything will make sense. And now the last part before we get to Nurse Hadley's new video, Brett has now changed his bio on TikTok. Obviously it said update coming on whatever. He's now changed it to what happened to the First Amendment, obviously suggesting that he's unable to speak about it. But as for Nurse Hadley's video, she started off by saying that she's now ready to address all of this, and she says that her relationship with Brett was private until Maria's family outed it.
Hi, I think I'm ready to address this search bar that's been on all my videos.
If you did not know, a few weeks ago, my boyfriend Brett went on to his page to share his story about a woman named Maria asking him to get her pregnant, and then him finding out pretty recently that the child is not his. We had been successfully keeping our relationship private for 6 months, and he did not mention me in his video at all. And then once he posted it, Maria's family did come on TikTok and out our relationship. I felt like if y'all were going to hear that I was in a relationship, it should come from me and not someone else. So I announced our relationship before I was ready to.
And then Hadley goes on to say that they stopped posting together or about this situation, but people have started making conspiracies up and she wants to address them.
And then from there, it kind of took on a life of its own as him and I stopped posting, and people just started making up a lot of conspiracy theories and spreading a lot of lies. So I would like to clear up 5 that I saw most frequently.
The first accusation being that she had lost custody of her children, and on top of that, the accusation that she had just kind of like give her child away because they had a disability.
First one, I did not lose custody of any of my kids, and none of them have a disability. I have my kids with me more often than not. I just don't post them on social media.
The second accusation being that she tampered with the DNA test.
2, I did not tamper with any DNA tests or even touch them at all. That's a very serious thing to accuse a nurse of.
The next accusation comes from one of Michelle's videos where she shows this conversation that she had, and she actually said here, I'll have to go back and see, thanks for letting me know. They were definitely together because he moved into her place the first week of dating, and this is regarding like Hadley kind of being the mastermind and coaching him through this, and that she was definitely there when he was making these videos because they moved in first week of dating.
3, I did not move my boyfriend into my home 1 week after meeting him.
Here are some of our very cringy first texts. Our first date was on March 20th. Our third date was 11 days later, and we had not even kissed yet.
Hadley then goes on to address the age stuff, because in Brett's original video, he mentioned that Maria was an older woman, and people have brought up that Hadley is older than Brett too, so why is he not mentioning that now?
Or Maria and I are not the same age, but even if we were, the context is what matters here. Brett and I were 27 and 31 whenever we met and started dating. Maria was in her 30s when she asked a 23-year-old she was not dating to get her pregnant, and I feel like that's a big difference.
And then Hadley addresses like the accusations being like the mastermind behind all of this, and goes on to explain why they ordered the DNA tests.
And the last one is a conspiracy theory that I'm the mastermind behind this whole thing because I have a large platform and his video went viral. It is true that I was the one to figure out that Maria was lying, and as a nurse, I was always suspicious whenever he told me that she got pregnant immediately. But a few months into our relationship, we were sitting down with some friends who had just had a baby, and the baby had come early, and Brett said offhandedly, "Oh, my daughter was born on her due date." I resisted the urge for a few days, but curiosity did get the best of me, and I did put that due date into a online calculator to figure out the conception dates. The calculator gave me a window of when the baby could possibly be conceived, and I took those dates to him and asked him what he was doing during those dates. And he was on a almost 2-week guys trip during that time. So he ordered DNA tests from 2 separate companies that used 2 different labs, and they both came back with the exact same result. 0% chance that he was the father.
And then Hadley ends the video by saying that she doesn't think she's a bad person for doing this, and this whole situation has caused a strain on their relationship.
I don't think I'm a bad person for being honest with him about the conception dates, and I don't think it makes me some kind of sociopath or mastermind, as so many people have called me. I had no way of knowing that this would be the outcome whenever we first started dating, and to be honest, it's caused a really big strain on our relationship. I had a few non-negotiables when I first started dating, and one of them is that I would only date other single parents because I don't want any more kids, and I don't want to date someone who doesn't understand the challenges of parenthood. We entered into a relationship as 2 single parents and had an idea of what life would look like as a blended family if we ever got to that point. On top of the stress that comes with something as serious as this, our relationship dynamic has changed a lot as well, because now only one of us is a single parent. We have both questioned at times the last few months if we should still be in a relationship, and I hate to admit that. Everyone wants the relationship to be perfect, but the truth is that it's been hard and we're still figuring it out, and that's why I was not ready to announce this publicly yet, but it is what it is, and we'll see.
And yeah, that's basically all the updates we have to this point. Overall, I just feel like really sorry for the child that's involved in all of this. This is just a horrible situation all around. Obviously, there's going to be some answers in the court when they do like the official DNA test, and who knows what they're going to be. I'm assuming we probably are going to find out. But yeah, it's just a shitty situation that's now spiraled into like a bunch of other situations involving other people kind of like saying their thoughts and whatnot. And it's, like I said, it just became this massive situation that sounds horrible. But yeah, like I said, that's all the updates we have up until now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.